Hello guys, here we are going to discuss biomolecule, the previous year question 2024 board question. Here we have the 2024 some board questions, very simple chapter my dear, so don't leave don't try to lose the 7 marks from this chapter, easy one. Answer the following. First question, what is the other name of vitamin B6? Vitamin B6. So there are different vitamins and their names are specified. You know, vitamin A is called which one? Retinol. Vitamin B1, thiamine. So here they are asking, so for the reference already given the names here. So they can be expected as a question. Vitamin, what is their other name? And they're mainly their deficiency causes. So vitamin, what is the one? Vitamin B6 is the one, it's called what? Pyroxine. Okay, so vitamin B6 and sometimes they ask you vitamin B12, that's called a cyanocobalamin. Maybe sometimes they ask you vitamin E, tocopherol, vitamin D is called cholecalciferol. So the name of the vitamins and their deficiency is very important. Second question, name the vitamin whose deficiency cause increased blood clotting time. That is what? Vitamin K. Blood clotting, that's related to which one? Vitamin K. Xerophthalmia, night blindness is everything caused by the deficiency of which vitamin? Vitamin A. Xerophthalmia, night blindness and all related to eye, it's mainly causes because of the deficiency of vitamin A. Give two sources of this vitamin, that fish oil and vegetables, milk, these are the main sources of which one? Vitamin A. Why can't vitamin C be stored in our body? Because vitamin C is a water soluble vitamin. You know, vitamin B and C except vitamin B12. Vitamin B and C are water soluble vitamin. So in our body water is there. So when we eat vitamin C and vitamin B kind of species, that whatever medicine, whatever some vegetable, whatever. So vitamin B and C when enter into our body, it is dissolved in our water, with water, and it's excreted through urine. So it won't store in our body for a long time. So vitamin B and C intake is very important. Name the disease caused by the deficiency of this which one? Vitamin. Vitamin C deficiency causes which one? Scurvy, right? Scurvy. Vitamin C deficiency causes what? Scurvy. This is one of the 2024 board question, my dear. Okay, so that question and study, please study the table thoroughly. Next one, what is the 2023 board question? What is the difference between nucleoside and nucleotide? My dear, a nucleoside contain a pentose sugar, right? A pentose sugar and with a nitrogen base. A nucleoside contain a pentose sugar with a nitrogen base, whereas a nucleotide contain this pentose sugar plus nitrogen base and phosphate group extra. Okay, a nucleoside contain pentose sugar and nitrogen base alone, but nucleotide contain this nucleoside plus a phosphate group on the 5th position. What products would be formed when a nucleotide from DNA containing thymine is hydrolyzed? We know DNA when hydrolyzed, what all three components you can get it. DNA and RNA are the nucleic acid, they mainly contain three components. What are the three components? What are they? One is pentose sugar. You know what is the pentose sugar of DNA is called? That is called beta D 2-deoxyribose. That is the name of the pentose sugar of DNA. And it contains the bases like what? ATGC. Thymine already they mentioned. Adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine are the nitrogen bases present in DNA. And what it contain? A phosphate group, right? That contain many phosphate group. These are the main three components when a DNA hydrolyzed, you will get it. Correct? Okay, the next one. Answer the following 2023 question. The first one. The penta-acetate of glucose does not react with the hydroxylamine. What does it indicate? We studied the hydroxylamine test, hydroxylamine, shift test, sodium bisulfite. These are actually given by normal aldehyde groups. Even though there is an aldehyde group in glucose, what? Even though there is an aldehyde group in glucose, why glucose not giving this test of aldehydes? Because initial structure, in the open chain structure, you know, glucose contain one aldehyde group on the top. But when it is converted to the cyclic form, the aldehyde group is not remaining there. So it cannot give the test of aldehydes. And second one, why cannot vitamin C be stored in our body? It's a repeated question, my dear. Vitamin C is a water soluble vitamin. So vitamin C, when it is intake, that dissolve in our water, that within the body, the water that get dissolved, the vitamin C, and excreted through urine, it can retain in our body for a long time. And define the term peptide bond. What is meant by peptide bond? It is a bond between two amino acids, right? The bond between amino acid is known as what? Peptide bond, which is present in a protein. What do you mean by denaturation? What do you mean by denaturation? When a native protein subjected to any physical change, like a change in temperature, or any chemical change, like a change in pH. You may observe what are the observation. Primary structure remain intact. Secondary and tertiary structure completely destroy. It will lose their biological activity and globular protein become fibrous protein. This phenomenon of conversion of a native protein to denatured protein is called what? Denaturation. Okay, so study denaturation definition thoroughly and the observation. And define what are anomers. What are anomers? Anomers are actually isomers having same molecular formula, but they are differ only in the configuration of just one carbon. You may studied what are the anomers of glucose, right? Alpha D glucose and beta D glucose units are there. They are anomers. What is their difference? On the first carbon, OH right side, alpha. On the first carbon, if OH left side, beta. So same formula, only on one carbon, the configurations are different. That is called anomers. And what do you mean by a glycosidic linkage? Glycosidic linkage is the bond between what? Two monosaccharides, correct? Glycosidic linkage is the bond between two monosaccharides. The next one, which one of the following is a disaccharide, my dear? You know, starch is not a disaccharide, starch is a polysaccharide. Hope you studied very well the theory. Starch is a polysaccharide. Maltose, yes, it's a disaccharide. Fructose is a monosaccharide. Glucose is also a monosaccharide. Only maltose. What are the three disaccharides you studied in this chapter? Sucrose, maltose and lactose. Correct. What is the difference between acidic amino acid and basic amino acid? You know, amino acid means the general formula RCHNH2COOH. This R group can be many things, right? So, in the amino acid, we classified into acidic, basic and neutral. How you can classify them as acidic? If the amino acid contain more number of COOH group than NH2, then it will be acidic. If the amino acid contain more amino group than acid, then it will be basic one, because amine is basic one. If it contains same number of NH2 and COOH, then it will be neutral. So depend on the number of acid and amine group, we can classify them acidic, basic and neutral. So what is the difference between acidic? Okay, that is the main difference, that contain different groups in number. Write the name of the linkage joined to nucleotide. You know, two nucleotides are joined together by which bond, my dear? Phosphodiester linkage. Phosphodiester linkage is the bond between two nucleotides. Correct. Now, which one of the following is a oligosaccharide? What do you mean by oligosaccharide? Which one dissolve in water give you 2 to 10 monosaccharide, especially the disaccharide, trisaccharide, like that. You know, starch is a polysaccharide, not oligosaccharide. Maltose, yes, maltose is a disaccharide, it's a oligosaccharide. Fructose is monosaccharide, glucose again monosaccharide. Especially 2 to 10 monosaccharides giving, then it will be which one? Oligosaccharide. What is the difference between DNA and RNA? Many differences are there. DNA, you know, DNA having double helical structure, where RNA having single stranded. DNA, what is the name of the pento sugar called? Pento sugar is called beta D 2-deoxyribose. Whereas in RNA, the pento sugar is called beta D ribose. What are the bases present in DNA? They contain ATGC. Whereas in RNA, it is AUGC. Correct or not? And DNA is used for, what is this is structural difference, you can say some functional difference. DNA is used for transferring heredity from one generation to another generation, whereas RNA is used for what? Protein synthesis. Correct. Write the name of the disease caused by the deficiency of vitamin B1. I told you, my dear student, please study the table thoroughly. Vitamin B1 deficiency causes what? Beriberi. Causes what? Beriberi. Next one. Write the product obtained when D-glucose react with HCN. D-glucose we will write like this one. CH2OH, CHOH 4 time and CHO. This is D-glucose. D-glucose when react with the hydrogen cyanide, what we get? You know, hydrogen cyanide is a what? That a nucleophilic substitution happen. Let me just write this CHO like this one. C double bond OH. Okay. From HCN, the Cn minus will attack on carbon and O become O minus. To the O minus, this H plus will attack. So you will get CH2OH, CHOH 4 time. Then we have CH. Here O becomes OH and Cn. To an aldehyde, when you add hydrogen cyanide, the product is called what? Cyanohydrin. Cyanohydrin, it is called glucocyanohydrin. Glucocyanohydrin. So especially when glucose react with the hydrogen cyanide, we get glucocyanohydrin, which shows that glucose contain a carbonyl group. Carbonyl group means CO group. So that's many reactions you may already studied about this one. And what type of bonding stabilizes the alpha helical structure of protein? We may studied alpha helical structure of protein is stabilized by hydrogen bonding. Yes, because in one turn CO group, adjacent turn NH group, they are connected through which bond? Hydrogen bond. Especially, you know, the alpha helix and beta pleated structure are the secondary structure of protein. Both of them are stabilized by hydrogen bonding. Next one, write the name of the deficiency causes by vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is called cyanocobalamin. It causes, deficiency causes pernicious anemia. Pernicious anemia. Vitamin B12 deficiency causes pernicious anemia. Which one of the following is a disaccharide again? Starch is polysaccharide. Yes, maltose again, not fructose and glucose. I think it's a repeated question. What is the difference between fibrous and globular protein, my dear? What do you mean by fibrous protein? What you mean by fibrous protein? Fibrous protein mean when two polypeptide chain running parallel. What? Two protein chain, two polypeptide chain when running parallel, they held together by hydrogen or disulfide bond, become thread-like structure called what? Fibrous protein, and they are water insoluble protein. Whereas globular protein means when a long polypeptide chain undergo coiling, become a spherical globular in shape, that is called globular protein, and they are water soluble protein. Fibrous protein, example you may study keratin and myosin, whereas globular protein, insulin and albumin. Then next question, write the name of the vitamin whose deficiency causes bone deformities in children. That is vitamin D, called what? Rickets. Bone deformity is called vitamin D deficiency, that's called rickets. Next one, write the product obtained when D-glucose. So let me take D-glucose once again. CH2OH, CHOH 4 time and CHO, right? CHO, let me write like this one, CHO. This one, they are reacting with what? NH2OH. Do you remember what is the name of this NH2OH, dear all? NH2OH is called hydroxylamine. NH2OH, what we call? Hydroxylamine. So what happened? This H2 and this oxygen, please remove as water. So remaining is called CH2OH, CHOH 4 time, we have CH double bond NOH. This NOH comes. This is called oxime and it is produced from glucose. So it's called glucose oxime. When a aldehyde or ketone reacted with a hydroxylamine, the product is always called oxime and it's produced from glucose. Therefore, it shows that glucose oxide. This reaction proves that glucose contain a carbonyl group. What is that carbonyl group? Means CO group, because carbonyl group will give this oxide with the NH2OH. Second question, amino acids show amphoteric behavior. Why? You know what is the general formula of amino acid? RCHNH2COH. Amino acid contain both acidic and basic group. Amino acid contain both acidic and basic group. Therefore, they can act as what? Both acid and base. Therefore, they are amphoteric in nature. Further, you can say it form what? Zwitter ion and all. Correct. Why cannot vitamin C be stored in our body? Vitamin C is a water soluble vitamin. We already discussed. Water soluble. Vitamin C is water soluble vitamin. So when we eat something come to in our body which contain vitamin C, it dissolves in water and it's excreted through urine. So we can't retain in our body for long time. That's why. Write the product obtained when D-glucose. So dear all, please study the reactions of glucose, the structure, how they determined. Bromine water. Okay, let me take CH2OH, CHOH 4 times, then we have CHO. This is our glucose. While we treated with the bromine water, Br2 water. When glucose react with the bromine water is a mild oxidation. The aldehyde become what? Acid. The aldehyde become acid. Most of you may, while watching this one, you already said what is the answer. What is this compound is called? Yes, gluconic acid. Gluconic acid. When glucose react with the bromine water, it's giving what? Gluconic acid that contain this aldehyde become carboxylic acid. What type of linkage is present in protein? Proteins contain which linkage, my dear? Peptide linkage, right? Peptide linkage. It is the bond between amino acid. And it is a type of amide linkage. Okay, peptide linkage is a type of amide linkage because it contains amide group. This one. You check when two amino acid join, you can able to see there is a CONH connection. This is the amide linkage or peptide linkage. Then which of the two components of starch is water soluble? Starch having two components. One is called which one? Amylose and amylopectin. Amylose and amylopectin. Starch having two components, amylose and amylopectin. Amylose is the linear chain of starch. Amylopectin having branched chain, my dear. Around 20% of starch is amylose, remaining 80% is which one? Amylopectin. Amylose is the water soluble part and amylopectin is the water insoluble part. Okay, water insoluble part. One more is there. Amylose having alpha 1,4 glycosidic linkage, but in amylopectin two bonds are there. Alpha 1,4 in the linear chain and alpha 1,6 in the branch. Okay, so amylose is fully linear, but amylopectin having what? Branches. So question here, which of the component of starch is water soluble? That is nothing but amylose is the water soluble component. Okay. Deficiency of which vitamin causes rickets? Yes, which one, my dear? Vitamin D. Vitamin D causes rickets. Give an example for, I think that compound already we discussed somewhere. Vitamin D causes what? Rickets, right? Yes. Give an example for each of fibrous protein and globular protein. Fibrous protein example which all? Keratin and myosin. Keratin and myosin. Globular protein example which one? Insulin and albumin. Insulin and albumin. Right. Deficiency of which vitamin causes scurvy? Scurvy is because of vitamin C. Remember, vitamin C scurvy. Vitamin C scurvy. What type linkage is responsible for the formation of protein? That already we discussed. Peptide linkage, right? Peptide linkage. Write the product formed when glucose is treated with hydrogen iodide. Again, let me take it. Glucose, CH2OH, CHOH 4 times and CHO. When glucose heated with HI, when glucose heated with hydrogen iodide, we get the product normal hexane. Normal hexane 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This reaction shows that in glucose all the 6 carbon are in a straight chain. Correct? You may study that. Now, define the following terms as related. Define a peptide linkage. How can you define a peptide linkage? It is the bond between amino acids which is present in a protein. What is peptide linkage? It is a bond between amino acid which is present in a protein. And you can say peptide linkage is a type of amide linkage. Primary structure of protein. How can you define primary structure of a protein? It is the specific and sequential arrangement of various amino acids on a protein chain. It is a specific and sequential arrangement of various amino acids on a long polypeptide chain. What do you mean by denatured protein? What do you mean by denaturation? When a native protein, what do you mean by a native protein? A protein with a proper three-dimensional structure and biological activity is called a native protein. When a native protein subjected to any physical change like a change in temperature or any chemical change like a change in pH. When a native protein subjected to any physical change or any chemical change, what happened, my dear? That become denatured. This phenomenon is called denaturation. What all changes happen? Their primary structure only they remain intact. Their secondary and tertiary structure completely destroy. And they lose their biological activity and the globular protein unfolded and it become what? Fibrous protein. So these all changes happen when you make a physical change or chemical change on native protein. This phenomenon is called what? Denaturation of protein. Example, you can say boiling of egg, curdling of milk. These all are denaturation. Define the following terms. What are anomers? What are anomers? Anomers are actually isomers. They are having same molecular formula, but they are differ only in the configuration of just one carbon. You may study the anomers of glucose, right? Alpha D glucose and beta D glucose are there. What is the basic difference between alpha D glucose and beta D glucose? Just the one first carbon, OH right side alpha, OH left side beta. That's a difference. So same formula, they are differ only in the configuration of just one carbon is called anomers. Denaturation of protein already we discussed, my dear. What is essential amino acid? Amino acids we classify into essential and non-essential amino acid. Essential amino acids are not synthesized in our body, it's only getting through food. Therefore they are essential. Whereas non-essential amino acids already synthesized in our body. So what is essential amino acid? These are amino acids which are not synthesized in our body, it's only getting through food. Right? That's essential. What is essential? Difference between alpha glucose and beta glucose. You know they are anomers. Alpha glucose and beta glucose mainly differ in their C1 carbon. Configuration of C1. First carbon. You may see that in the first carbon, OH right side, H left side. In the cyclic form, you may study the cyclic form of the glucose, right? In which the first carbon, if OH right side, that is called alpha form. If OH left side is called what? Beta form. That is commonly what we call anomers. So basic difference between alpha D glucose and beta D glucose is on the first carbon. If the OH is on right side, it's alpha form. If OH is left side, it's called what? Beta form. What is mean by pyrano structure of glucose? They used a pyran ring, right? This is called the pyran ring. On the ring, you can able to see one oxygen and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbon. When glucose open chain structure, you know what is a glucose open chain structure? What is open chain structure of glucose? CH2OH, then we have OHH, OHH, HOH, then again OHH, then we have CHO, right? The first carbon and fifth carbon when interacted, you are getting alpha glucose and beta glucose. So in this case, they are asking what is mean by pyranos. So when they forming the ring, when they forming the alpha form and beta form, you check the ring all of you. The ring contain 1 oxygen and 5 carbon. Here 1 oxygen comes and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbon comes. That ring is very close to which one? Pyranose ring structure. So glucose, when the cyclic structure of glucose, Haworth one scientist, right? Haworth. The cyclic structure of glucose, which one? Alpha glucose and beta glucose have both made into a ring, another format that is called what? Pyranose ring structure. You may study the structure like this one, right? These are what? Pyranose ring structure, that is called the Haworth representation. Now, name the deficiency diseases resulting from the lack of vitamin A and vitamin E. Vitamin A deficiency causes what? Xerophthalmia and night blindness, right? Night blindness, same. Vitamin A deficiency causes xerophthalmia, night blindness. Vitamin E causes especially muscular weakness. Muscular weakness is by which one? Vitamin E. Now name the product of hydrolysis of sucrose. On hydrolysis, my dear, you will get alpha D glucose and beta D fructose. Maltose, on hydrolysis, you will get alpha D glucose, again one alpha D glucose. You will get 2 alpha D glucose when maltose hydrolyze. Whereas lactose give you beta D glucose and beta D galactose. Beta D glucose and beta D galactose. So study these, all are disaccharide. Each disaccharide on hydrolysis, what we get, that's the monosaccharide which is present inside is very important. Okay, so these are the previous year questions they were asked from this one. So for a quick revision, let me tell you the cyclic structure the format once again, my dear. See, the cyclic structure of glucose is this one. We have CH2OH, then we have OHH, OHH, then HOH, then OHH, then we have CHO. CHO we can write this H left side, right side, no problem. Let me number, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is called the open chain structure of which one? Glucose. The first carbon contact with the fifth carbon. First and fifth carbon just connected, they form. So C1 and C5. First and fifth carbon are joining, form the ring structure. See the ring structure, in the ring structure you can able to see like this one. Here no change, CH2OH, right? This one. Let me write this H here. Something happened to this OH, okay? Something happened to this OH, careful. This 432 as it is. So what we can write? HOH, HOH, then here HOH, then OHH, here the first carbon. See, first carbon, I told you this hydrogen can be right, left or right, okay? I'm writing first H left side. Please take the OH group on the fifth carbon, put it on the first carbon. So let me place it here. And this oxygen is the one making the connection like this. This is the cyclic structure of which one? Glucose. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon. I can draw another structure also for this one. Here this OH I can write left, this hydrogen I can write left, the right. So this format in which the first carbon OH on right side, so this is called the ring structure alpha D glucose. If the OH left side and H right side only on this carbon, it is called beta D glucose. They are together called what? Anomers. So what are generally anomers? Anomers are actually isomers. They are differ only in the configuration of just one carbon. Here it is the first carbon. So this is the way they are forming the open chain structure into what? Cyclic structure. Clear all of you, my dear? So that is the most important previous year questions we expected and they asked from your previous board exam question paper. Let's hope for a repeated question and the most simple question for your upcoming board exam also. And try maximum study every concept 7 mark. Don't lose it. All the best.